Welcome to Being Friends with Jess and Toni-ann, an inside look at our friendship, millennial things, sports, and pop culture. Come laugh with us, or maybe at us, and let's be friends.
Anyway,
All right.
welcome back, friends.
Hello, everyone. Hope everybody.
I almost forgot that we had an episode last week. Like, I feel like I'm in a fog. Like, time is moving very quickly, but very slowly at the same time. I don't know where I am.
So it's moving the normal speed.
I mean, like, I guess, but like, I guess it's just like I'm off because like it's short week and like, I don't know.
I know.
I don't. Anyway.
Hope everyone had a great Labor Day.
Yeah. Did you come over on Monday?
Yeah, that was Labor Day.
I didn't know if it was Monday or Sunday for a minute.
That was Monday.
Okay, so obviously I'm on the struggle.
And for everyone wondering why we feel lost in the space competition, it's Wednesday right now. Like, it's not.
Yeah. And we don't usually record on Wednesdays, but
no,
we be busy.
Right, we be busy, so it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so
what fantasy drafts are taking over our lives.
Oh yeah, the fantasy drafts were a scheduling issue for the last week.
We will talk about that though too.
Yes.
Anyway, so I don't have anything to drink other than water because I honestly was falling asleep before this, not gonna lie.
That's fine.
Because I stayed up for the 3-hour Bachelorette finale last night.
Ugh.
And I'm exhausted. And then, like, tonight, I was like, oh, go to bed early. And I was like, nope, we're recording. And then tomorrow, football. Friday, football.
Oh, my God, tomorrow does start football.
I know. And I'm like, when am I going to catch up on sleep?
Yeah, because it doesn't start till, like, 8:15 either.
Right. There's it, like, literally. And my problem is that I like Amazon. Like, I like the Amazon commentary.
I think tomorrow night's on Peacock.
Oh, Amazon doesn't have Thursday Night Football anymore?
I think maybe only because it's opening night. It's on NBC Peacock.
Oh, okay.
And then Friday's Brazil game is also on Peacock.
Okay, well, then I appreciate that it's not on Amazon TV because my problem with Amazon TV that when Amazon has the games on Thursday normally, I get so invested in the commentators because I thoroughly enjoy them that somehow I watch the post game until like 1 a.m. sometimes.
Who's the commentators for that?
They're just so entertaining. I don't know. I literally couldn't even tell you any of them. I think Tony Gonzalez is one of them. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh.
And I only know him because he was on the Jets. And then there's a blonde girl who's fantastic. Like, she's great. And then there's a big dude. I don't know what team he played for. But they're all just like very funny and they have like great dynamic. And then like after the game, they're like wreaking havoc and just like ragging on each other. And then they do like good interviews. Like they're just like very good at their jobs. So I get invested. And then I can't follow them. Like if I don't fall asleep in the fourth quarter, I am staying up until 1 a.m. watching.
Yeah, that could be.
So I'm a little happy now that you just told me that they're not doing the game tomorrow.
Not this week anyway, maybe next week, but
so yeah, anyway, so I have giant Sir Stanley here.
Mm-hmm.
So that I could drink ice cold water to shock my body into staying awake.
That's fine. I was also tired, so I made myself an iced latte. Okay, the color makes it look not great. I have to tell you. I don't know if it's the laptop because in person the color looks great. I also had a little dollop of whipped cream on top, but now since we've took a while to start, it like has melted a little bit. But it's an espresso iced leggero, they call it.
I was gonna say, are you only making coffee because your parents have an espresso?
It's that sweet Nespresso. I am open for sponsorships in Nespresso if need be. But yeah, I needed caffeine. I was like 10 minutes before we started recording and I was just sitting on the couch watching the Met game. I was like, my eyes were drooping. I was like, we have a podcast to record. Whoopsies.
So anyway.
Caffeine it is.
Shall we talk about our ridiculous things?
Yeah, and I'll start.
Okay.
Because speaking of, I did see Jess on Monday. I went to her house to hang out.
Are we talking about it? Okay.
Yeah. And guess what I did again, fans? And if your answer is sprain your ankle again, you are absolutely correct.
Drink to that. Do not show us your feet.
Ow. Okay. I am not suing Jess because we don't do that as friends. But I was just hanging out on our patio. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous day. So we were out on her patio. Her child was frolicking in the child pool. You know, we were having a nice little afternoon. And I stepped off her patio just to like go towards the kiddie pool to like interact with her child. And I just did the usual thing that I do and just rolled my ankle stepping off like it's like stepping off a curb. Like the most simplest human motion that everyone does without issue. I of course had an issue with it. So immediately started in intense pain. Poor Alec did not know what to do. Jess has seen it before. Alec did not know what to do. Which honestly, he lived with me for 2 years. I don't know how he hasn't seen me do that. Maybe he just hasn't paid attention before, but this time it was like in his backyard, so he was like paying attention.
Let's be real. The man has like an insane ability to just tune things out.
Yeah.
And
so bless his soul, he immediately went and got me ice. He was very attentive.
He did.
And of
meanwhile,
course,
I'm ordering Taco Bell.
Jess was in the middle of trying to order Taco Bell on DoorDash, and I do recall the only thing she said to me was, "Did you really just do that?" And I'm like, "Yep, I did."
Sorry.
Her child just staring at me, not realizing, like, is she like dying? Like, what's going on here? Because I'm just like moaning. And then she realized I like sat down and she just went back to playing.
Also, I just want to set the record straight here that I've been friends with this girl for 14 years now.
Yeah.
So at this point, I know that if I act concerned, she's just going to get more mad at herself that she did it, and I'm bringing attention to it. So
You're so
I just,
right.
exactly. So I knew what I was doing. So I was just like, shit, she did that. And now I have to act like I don't care, even though I'm concerned. Meanwhile, her foot is like blowing up before my eyes. And I'm like, don't tell her. Don't tell her that it's blowing up.
And I was saying, like, just ignore me. Like, let me just do what I need to do. Just ignore me. And you were like, yeah, that is exactly what I'm doing, because you do know me well. and I was just saying it more for like Alec's sake. Like, I'm gonna make a lot of noises. I'm gonna probably curse a bit. Like, please just like ignore me. Like, pretend I'm not even here for a while. Like, so good old me, you know, because, you know, I am traveling and I think it's 10 days from now or 9 days from now. So I was overdue for an injury. So of course it had to happen right around now, but hopefully I get myself a little rested before then so I can at least walk around. But like,
feeling today,
it's the feeling, it sucks, but like, it's not as sucky as the first day. Like the feeling is starting to get teeny better, but it is blown up. Like it is so swollen, really very bruised.
By the time you left my house,
right? Like... And then everybody like that I see, like today I went to get my hair done, and like I walk in with it wrapped, like I have it in like, you know, wrap, and my hairdresser's like, "What'd you do? Like, are you okay?" Because I forget that like not everybody knows that Toni-ann does this on the reg, and I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, I just sprained my ankle again." And she's like, "Oh my god, like did you go for an X-ray?" Like I'm like, No, we don't do that, because it's just the same result every time. I just got to get through this. Just got to get through it. So elevate nice as much as possible. And that's just my life. I mean, I just don't know how else to explain it. Like it's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
So, you know,
also ridiculous that she got me to watch. On a happier note for her, I distracted her with Joey Chestnuts in a hot dog eating contest, and she did get me to watch it, which is shocking if anybody knows me. And I will have to say it was more tolerable because they weren't dunking the hot dogs, but
yeah,
I've shared to our story. I'm sure you all saw she was very intense into it, and that was just, I was happy that she was happy at that point, because it was a rough couple hours of her feeling self-pity.
I didn't even like, Jess was in the ordering like Taco Bell, and I was ready to like try the chicken cantina menu. Like all this happened, right? Then the ankle thing happened, and she's like, "Okay, well, we still need to order." And I'm like, "Just give me a chicken quesadilla." Like I was like so over it at that point.
I didn't even think of new food.
I couldn't concentrate on the menu. I was like, "Just give me a chicken quesadilla."
I was like, oh my god. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that was that. And then the best part is like we were literally like in lounge chairs all day, and then Alec comes out and he's like, "So are you gonna talk about this on the podcast?" And I'm like, "I'm not gonna mention it unless Toni-ann mentions it. Like I
Had
know
to.
better. I know better. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
did have to. On a much more different note, I okay, we'll talk about the fact that I can't cut the cord with cable.
What?
I feel like I'm the only like millennial that can't cut the cord with the cable
Oh
box.
no, I also can't.
Well, yeah, you're like in that boat also, but like
Yeah.
so Alec and I have been debating if we're gonna get like Sunday ticket with YouTube TV so we can watch like the untelevised games.
Yeah.
Which like okay. Great. And then we were like looking at the packages, but hold on, I have to take my phone off this thing
Why
because
am I
it's like
so
buzzing and
bright?
making so much noise.
Why did my laptop go so bright? Okay, here we go.
I don't know. Anyway, so I was like looking I didn't even know like what YouTube TV was, honestly. But if you do the bundle with YouTube TV and Sunday ticket, then you can watch like up to 4 games at one time. And that includes like Red Zone. So I'm like, this is great. Like, of course we want that. And Alex like, no, we just need Sunday ticket so we can watch the untelevised games and like go back and forth. I'm like, okay, well, let's just see like what you get with the whole YouTube TV. And you get a ton of stations.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like, here I am, and I'm like ready to be like, okay, let's cut the cord. And then I'm like, wait, I won't get SNY.
Nope, that's the thing. I've looked at YouTube TV so many times, but the no SNY is really the kicker for me.
How do we tell SNY to get their butts on
They
YouTube
had a whole
TV?
contract dispute about it. It was like a whole thing like last year.
So annoying.
I
So
know.
anyway, so now can't do it, and I'm gonna lose this, and we're just gonna get the regular like basic Sunday package probably, and we can't watch 4 games at once.
That's a shame. Well, then,
yeah. So
how much
I
is
just
Red
think it's
Zone
ridiculous.
just, like, by itself?
Well, we're not getting Red Zone. We're gonna get the Sunday ticket,
the
which is like
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
which is like you just get it for 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't remember how much it was, but it was cheaper to
No,
just
I know.
get like for
I've
4
been
months.
I've been debating cord cutting forever, but it all comes down to SNY.
Right.
I
Because
know.
they have every other station that I watch.
Right. And I
So
would cord cut and still get the SNY through the SNY app. However, I need someone else to still have
like
cable to get
right.
that. So
exactly. I thought of that as well.
Yeah.
So anywho, that's my dilemma. In other news, not so ridiculous, but have you seen this Dubai chocolate on the internet? It literally looks like chocolate with like grass in the middle of it.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Like, honestly, I can't tell if it's a chocolate bar with weed in it. Because that's what it looks like.
Is it pistachios?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It doesn't look appetizing, but I've seen
it says pistachio.
Okay, well, I've seen so many people eating it.
It looks like avocado, though.
You think it looks like avocado?
It looks like guacamole.
Hold on. Let me see the picture. Because what I was looking at... Yeah, I don't think that looks like guacamole. I think it looks like grass.
Looks very much like... Oh, this one's a little more grassy looking.
Yeah, so anyway, everyone's like obsessed with it right now. And I keep seeing it, like people on Instagram, like trying it. Like, look, this one looks like grass.
Yeah, I just like my chocolate as chocolate.
So I'm just like wondering where this came from, how like these trends keep starting, and then like where are we buying this? Like
I guess it's like the cronut. Like one bakery makes it, and then it just grows.
But this is like, we've talked about it before. This is the problem with TikTok. Like, 3 people TikTok these things, and then they like blow up for a week, and then I'm like sick of it by the end of the week, and I'm confused on how they became, and then I'm just like, why do we have to do that? Like, no one's ever discovered this chocolate before, but this week it's just like blowing up everywhere, or this month.
Just marketing, Jess. It's how any trend starts.
Okay, well, whatever. I just thought it looked like grass, and I thought it was weird. And it doesn't look like chocolate. Like, it looks like you're eating grass. I'm just...
Yeah.
It's unappetizing.
I love pistachio, but that doesn't look appealing to me.
Right. I would not be able to eat it just for the sole fact that it doesn't look appetizing. So
No, because I
that's
guess it's
that.
like a stuffed pistachio cream, but like I wouldn't mind a little bit of pistachio with my chocolate, but I wouldn't want that much. And not stuffed. I'm
Yeah.
a minimalist and a traditionalist when it comes to my chocolate.
No, I need like something in the chocolate, but that's not it.
Unless it's a Reese's.
Um, yeah, so that was all I had to say about the Dubai chocolate.
We were talking about football, so let's talk about our fantasy
Yeah,
for a
let's
second.
finish talking about football. So I had a fantasy draft last Thursday. Then Friday, I don't think we had any. Saturday, fantasy draft. No, I don't even know. We had 5 fantasy drafts between me and Alec in the last week. And then my brother last night had 2 fantasy drafts at the same time, but he was out, so he had to do one on his phone. He had to do them on his phone, so he couldn't log in to do like both at the same time.
Did he at least have some like queued up for like auto picks?
So he sends me a note with like all these people that he wants, and he's like, I need you and Alec to start the draft for me, and then I'll take over when my other draft ends. And I'm like, okay. We got an A- overall, but like the text messages going back and forth was like, because my brother's the type of person, he is great, but like if you do anything that isn't exactly how he wants
I know
it or what of it, or like he's the type of person that like makes a Christmas list and gives you like options, and then you buy him something off his list and he's like, oh, this is nice, but I really wanted blah 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 more, and you're like, why did you put this on the list then? Like what? So I was stressed. Very
I know
stressed.
that's the type of person
But it
you would
worked
want
out.
to do a favor for, because it would never like be what they
Right.
want.
Like
Yeah.
right. But
which I can relate to, because I'm a perfectionist and I have the mantra that I would always do something best myself rather than give it to someone else. So I understand that, but yeah, but our fantasy draft was Thursday, and I was the first pick last year. That was my first time doing fantasy football in our Pigskin Princesses league, and I went from being the first draft pick to 11 out of 12. And it definitely slapped me into reality, because whereas last year I got Christian McCaffrey as my number 1 pick and he carried me through the whole season, and I went, fantasy's great. I mean, not that I didn't win, but like I came in like 3rd or 4th in the league or something like that. And I was like, oh, this is so fun. I'm going to do so well. And then going to pick number 11, whew, man, slap back into reality. So, I mean, I think my team's still decent, but
you did get a good QB though.
Yes. Well, I made everyone mad. I, being the still kind of newbie in fantasy football, broke a lot of...
We didn't make us mad. We just...
Unwritten rules were broken.
Exactly.
Jamie especially was not happy with me.
You could do whatever you want. Jamie will get over it. Her and her notebook. Like
I picked my quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, in the 3rd round, I'm pretty sure. And
no, I think you took him 2nd.
I might have taken him 2nd round.
Yeah, I think you took him 2nd.
And then I took a kicker in the 6th round.
Yeah, the kicker was weird, but I mean, taking Patrick Mahomes early, like, I don't think that wasn't as outlandish, but obviously everybody he's a hot commodity.
Yeah, I took Patrick Mahomes 2nd round. I took the Jets defense 5th round, and then my kicker 6th round. So all 3 of those times, the app went, what? Like, it was like the app was appalled on it.
The app was funny when you like picked things in like weird orders. Also, though, the Sleeper app is the app that we use in this league, and I loved drafting on the computer on the Sleeper app because it was so easy to like follow all the screens and like who was picking when you were up. Like it was just so well organized.
Even
on
like, the app, it was very easy to follow.
I love this. Yeah. It's so easy. So that was the first time that I drafted instead of on the Sleeper app on the computer. Yeah. Sorry, people, hold on.
That's okay. So yeah, so my team ended up being pretty decent. I originally, like I said, Patrick Mahomes my QB. So I immediately changed my team name to the picture of Kermit drinking his tea, and it was going to be Football Froggy Voices, because everybody says that he sounds like Kermit. But then after some thought, I wanted to make it a little funnier, so I changed it to Show Me Dem TDs, and I think that is hilarious, objectively, and I'm going to be keeping it that. So
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
For
Do
the
you not
sake
want
of
to
our
share yours?
listeners, I'm not gonna share mine because I did Google it on the internet.
Well, I
And
didn't make that up. I found it on the internet too.
well, I Googled it on the internet, and I have Cooper Cup. And if you want to look up like top 25 female fantasy football league team names, it is on that list. And
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
leave it at that. I
Yeah.
will say that I refused to name a team. And I didn't even want to put a player's name in my team name because last year I was team Rodgers that, and Aaron Rodgers got hurt 4 plays into the season. So if anything happens to this man because his name is in my name, I'm going to lip out.
Oh my
Out.
God. The curse will
Anyway,
continue.
but it was fun. And I'm just excited for football, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't wait to just sit around on Sundays and only watch football.
Like I said, this fantasy league that I was invited to graciously actually like really reinvigorated me like actually watching football because I really just like
it makes it more fun.
It makes it
honestly.
so much more fun. It makes you like so much more invested in watching and seeing who's doing well. Like
Right.
I just didn't the last couple of years I really fell off with football and like that really brought it back for me.
I think it also makes it more fun because like we're Jets fans. So like
Right.
most of the time we have nothing to look forward to. So like at least you're like invested in other teams' games because you have those players on your team.
Right. I did play a little bit of favoritism with picking the Jets defense, but that's not a bad pick regardless because they have great defense.
No, that's the only good thing on their team normally.
Yeah. I did take Greg the Leg as my backup kicker, but he'll mostly be on the bench anyway. But it's just I had to take him because I was like, you know that he kicks a lot of field goals because it's the Jets. So yeah, whatever. But that's fantasy.
Listen, he
so
might
we'll
surprise you. You might wind up putting him in more than you think you will.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if we have a lot of fantasy football fans on our pod because we did put it on our story and we got absolutely zero interactions, but it also could have been because I made the screenshots like minuscule.
Yeah, they were really tiny.
Yeah, but me and Jess's teams will play each other. I think it was like week 8. It was like late into the season. So we'll have to
We'll be here. Don't worry.
I know. So we'll have to see what the outcome of that is, but fun stuff. It's always fun when football starts. The fall is here. It's great. Nobody's mad.
Special guest joins us. Do you want to talk about the Midtown Tunnel? Because I'm having anxiety reading about this.
Okay, so
I've never even heard about this yet.
When I was watching the news earlier today, I mean, it's still happening, but my first thing that I said to my parents was, I really want to talk about this on the pod, but I know that the minute I bring it up, I'm going to basically cause Jess to have an anxiety attack, so maybe I don't want to talk about this.
Every time I'm in the tunnel, I'm like, what if water just starts infiltrating this? But this happened at the Lincoln Tunnel, I think, a couple of years ago, too, where like water started coming in. Oh, okay.
So again, do you want me to actually explain it to you, or do you want to live in ignorant bliss?
I mean, I'm not going into the Midtown Tunnel, and I'm assuming that they hopefully have closed the tunnel since. They have not closed the tunnel since.
So it happened like this afternoon. Some idiots that were doing something in the East River like drilled too far down where it actually went not only down through all the water, but down through the like 50, 100-foot water bed that separates the bottom of the river to the tunnel and hit the roof of the tunnel. So they made a 2.5-inch hole in the roof of the Midtown Tunnel. And there's videos of like people inside the tunnel where like it looks like it's raining, like inside the tunnel. And at first people thought it was just like a water main break. So they were like, oh, okay, it's not the river. It's just like pipes. And then they confirmed like, no, there's actually like a hole in the roof. Like it's the salt water like coming in. So they had to
what do we do? Okay,
so they had to close the tunnel. So if you go on the news right now, like nobody's moved off of 495 in Queens for like 3 hours. Like it's standstill. And like imagine your grandparents still live there. Like they wouldn't be able to get around. Like craziness. And
that's insane.
They put a temporary plug in it.
Who's driving through that tunnel with the temporary plug?
And now traffic has reopened in both directions, and they're like, "Don't worry, we'll go ahead and fix it, but we got a temporary solution for now." No. I'm sorry. And now people are continuing to drive through the tunnel. I would have been whipping a Yui so fast. I would go over every bridge possible, even if it was an hour out of my way. I am not going through that tunnel with a temporary plug in it. Are you on crack?
Yeah, no.
And I'm not a person that gets anxiety like that, but you're telling me that they have a confirmed drill through the roof?
So I don't like have it all the time when I'm like in the tunnel, but then like once my brain goes there, like it goes there.
I know. And the Queens Midtown Tunnel is in relation a pretty like short tunnel. Like you're in and out of it in like 2 minutes. Like it's not really.
But yeah, it's not long.
Yeah. So you're not
But I
gonna
feel like
have
that would make
anxiety.
it easier to like blood.
I
it's
guess,
shorter.
but it's also, but they have so many pumps that like it gets pumped out pretty quickly, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't like that. Yikes. Okay, thank you for sharing.
I just, again, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I kind of did write it down just in case you were curious because it was more that I knew you would have anxiety over it, and I was just talking about somebody else.
I did hear like the tail end of a story when I turned on the news that like I guess maybe 495 like. Or the turnpike was probably backed up from that as well because I'm sure people were like going to the Lincoln Tunnel or whatever, maybe. And then the city was backed up, so like you couldn't get through the tunnel. I'm sure. Because when you get out of the Lincoln Tunnel, you go towards the Midtown Tunnel, or you go the other way. So
yeah, all of Midtown was pretty locked down, but
but I think they said that it took somebody like an hour to go like 3 miles.
I believe it.
Yeah,
even if the tunnel wasn't closed, sometimes it takes so long.
I know.
But they one of the newscasters was like, yeah, and there's a home game at Citi Field tonight. Like all these people are gonna. I'm like, but the traffic was people going into Manhattan, not the other way. So I'm like, that's not really relevant. But okay, like whatever. But yeah, so that was the fun.
Yeah, but if people like had to go take the LIE or whatever to get to Citi Field,
yeah, it was a mess.
Then it was relevant.
So, yeah.
All right. So. All right, are we ready for?
Yeah, I'm just making sure there's no other topic, but I think we're good.
Okay. Yeah. All right, people. So we have a special guest who's been asking to be on our podcast for quite some time now, a whopping 40 weeks to be exact. She's been asking to be on, and when this episode drops, it will be her birthday. So we are going to get her on the cam.
Okay, here she is.
I have one too.
It is. Wait, that's what's darker when you got here. What happened? Did you lower the light?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh,
there it goes. It's like zooming in. Okay, Deb, I can't take you seriously with this.
So our special guest is my mother, Deb.
Thought she was going to talk about it. Yeah, through it the whole time.
So
did you bring China with you?
Yes, I did.
Put the phone down.
I have my hooray, it's my birthday.
There we go.
Honey Jack.
Perfect. Nice.
A big fat ice cube.
Nice.
Cheers.
Sounds like you've already been drinking some of it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You got nothing left.
Justin's been
we were falling asleep, so we don't even have good drinks.
Mm-mm.
Oh, look, I even have a label on the bottom.
Up a little bit. Why are you like on top of it?
Oh, nice.
All right. So my mother has been asking for, like Jess said, about 40 weeks to be on this podcast. She's one of our most avid listeners. And we're not trying to start a precedent, but it is her birthday. And Jess decided to throw her a bone.
Because Jess loves me more than Toni-ann does.
Do you want to know what actually made me think like we should have Deb on the podcast? So Deb sends me a lot of reels on like things that she wished she did with her children. And like parenting hacks, like don't buy your kids fake cleaning supplies, let them Swiffer your floors, which I was already doing, and I was like, Deb, we already do this in my house. And then she sent me something the other day too about like, I want to say it was about like lying to your kids about like things that are going to help them, not like bad things, you know. Anyway, but my kid's in a phase right now where she wants ketchup on everything, like legit everything. So so you
want something to help you?
She's freezing.
No, on a morning we were eating breakfast and we were having waffles and she was having strawberries and she was like, catch, dada, catch. So what Alec did was he dipped her waffle.
Oh God.
In the strawberry juice. I told her it was ketchup, and I was like laughing because I was like, "Here's those little lies that are gonna help me," like Deb was saying. And then I was like, "Oh my God, wait, Deb's birthday's on Friday. I think we should talk about all the lies that Deb told Toni-ann as a child to make her behave.
Which we've spoken about.
Right.
But
So
yeah.
my first advice to you is you're supposed to take the bottle of ketchup out and you're supposed to say, let me read it. And you're supposed to read it to her and say, oh, you can't put this on strawberries.
That's a good idea also. We'll keep that in the arsenal.
And when she starts to learn letters, you can just show her an S and say C-S, strawberries. And she'll believe you.
It worked. I can guarantee you it worked.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. We tell her everything is ketchup. Like, and also, like, when she doesn't eat her dinner, I'm like, she's obsessed with snacks right now. Like, everything snack, wants snacks all the time. So I'm like, oh, this isn't dinner. This is a snack. And then we just call dinner a snack and we eat it, shockingly.
But you never have to really lie to her. You just have to make her think that you're reading something on the label. It's not your fault.
Yeah,
It's
not
the ketchup bottle's fault.
right.
It's like when Toni-ann wanted to go to McDonald's and I said she knew her numbers and I said, you see the 2? And she'd go, yes, mama. And I go, only 2-year-olds today could eat at McDonald's. She's like, okay, maybe we'll come back another day.
But it was always 2.
So it wasn't me. It was McDonald's that was at fault.
I love
It
these.
did work. It did work.
I love these. Listen,
So yes. So it is her birthday.
it is her birthday.
birthday.
She's here.
Oh yeah, she's got her little tiara on.
I
She's
see
here.
it. I see it. That's a
So,
small one.
Yeah, this is like my little travel one for like little occasions.
Oh,
Where were you
little
traveling to? We're in
occasion.
your room right now.
I'm traveling to my bedroom. It's a surprise.
It's a little occasion. It's a little
Yes.
occasion.
Jess and I had a couple of topics.
All right,
that
I have another.
Yeah, go ahead, Jess.
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, you
You're-
said
you're-
we
You're
have a couple
cutting
topics
out,
we
so
think
it's like
you'll-
hard to like talk with you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you've been a little frozen all day, is what I'm saying. It's fine. So anyway,
You tell me
yes.
this now.
Well, what was I gonna make you do? Stop. So we have 2 topics that we think you could have your opinion on.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
Cheers.
So my topic, I'll do mine first. Are you good?
Yeah, my headphones just stopped working, and you were coming out of my computer. So.
Oh, okay. So first topic I had is last week I went to a Mamma Mia cooking class in the city with my friends. Okay, which I didn't really talk about much, but it was a really fun time. Did a lot of fun things, and the end of the night I didn't eat that much. We were doing so much preparation and drinking that like we had a lot of leftover salad, potatoes, food, dessert, whatever. I asked the guy for a box, and every girl at the table was mortified that I asked for a doggy bag, that I asked for a box.
Why?
I know. And I'm like, I paid for this food. I prepared this food. Why shouldn't I get to take it home if I didn't finish it?
Right.
Leftovers are the bomb. Why wouldn't you want leftovers?
Okay, I don't like leftovers most of the time. I'm weird. I don't like reheated food, but that's fine. But
doesn't.
that would not stop me. Like, if it was something that I really liked or like wanted,
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking it to go. Like,
Yeah.
unless I'm like having a 3-hour, like unless I'm on a road trip and like
Right.
I have to worry about it going bad in the car, that would be the only reason why I wouldn't bring food home.
I was told, and I'm not going to name who says these things because I'm not trying to shame them. I was told that certain places, there's an etiquette to taking home food. Like certain places it's okay, certain places it's not, certain situations it's okay, certain situations it's not.
I don't agree with that because, like you just said, you paid for
I
it. you
have
cooked
a
it, you prepared it.
degree in restaurants, and I've never heard of this rule.
I actually sometimes forget you do.
I will go out to eat, and if I order a piece of cheesecake and there's like this much left,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I will wrap it up because I have to tell you that 2 bites the next night is like the most amazing piece of cheesecake.
So, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, your server might be judging you that you having them wrap 2 bites, but that we're not gonna do it, or that like we might be talking like, could you believe that I'm wrapping this cheesecake? Like, but no one is like, there's definitely not rules as to what you can take home.
I mean, listen, Jess, no offense, but I am not at that table to impress that server. I don't care whether she judges me or not. I'm eating those 2 bites of cheesecake the next day.
Oh, I'm very aware that you do not care. I'm very aware.
Yeah. So I asked the waiter, and one of the other girls asked the waiter, like, did other tables ask you for a box too? And he was like, yeah. I mean, and I'm like, see? And then
No, go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
I said, and then I went off on a thing. I'm like, I would do that anywhere, like even like a wedding, like.
I do that all the time. I don't eat at the whole dinner at the wedding. As soon as they put it down or when they take my order, I tell them don't even put it out. Just put it in a box because I ate too much at the cocktail hour and I want dessert.
Okay.
Listen. But how's that for etiquette? Is that faux pas?
No, I mean, I feel like might be like a weirder like request. I've seen people do it. Also, as someone that like paid for a wedding, I'd rather you pack it up than and like eat it at a later date than like waste the money that I spent on the meal.
Right.
Well, quick funny story. So I went to a birthday party that was at Danino's. Does she know Danino's?
Yeah, she knows Danino's.
Best pizzeria in the world in Staten Island, right? And I ate so many appetizers that were put out for this first birthday party, and I wanted a piece of pizza, so I went and got one, and I asked the lady, can I get a piece of tinfoil or something to wrap it up in? And my husband was mortified. He goes, even in a pizzeria, you have to take something home. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, because I want that piece of pizza, and tomorrow I'm going to enjoy it. The next day I go in the refrigerator. It is gone. Who ate it? The guy who judged me that I took the pizza home. Mm-hmm. That is the most illegalist thing in the world. First of all, it was Danino's pizza. It wasn't even like crap pizza or any other pizza. It was Danino's. You shamed me and then you ate my leftovers.
I would be really mad if somebody ate like Danino's.
So there you go.
So don't judge. Well, is the bottom line.
I was going to say that when we went to Charleston for Aaron's wedding, we went to this restaurant she has a label on the bottom of her cup.
She was just showing us how much she was drinking.
No, she's showing us the label.
Yeah, sorry.
So we went to this restaurant in Charleston that I went to in 2014. And I really wanted to go there. I was like, we're going there for lunch. So we met Ari and Nick there, and they have their galamad. This is going to sound weird. It's called steak galamad. And it is cut like chicken fingers. Now, being from the north, you would think this is disgusting, right? Like, we don't like thick galamad. When I tell you, now this is me.
And you're weird about everything.
Right. So when me and my mom went to this restaurant the first time, we were like, is there a lot of legs? And they were like, oh, no, it's not like that. And we're like, what do you mean it's not like that? Like, they were like, it's not rings. It's like strips. So now out of curiosity, we're just like, okay. He's like, the guy's like, it's really good, I swear. So we order it. When I tell you for the last 10 years, I've been telling everyone about and their mother about this galamad. I'm not even shitting you. Everyone and their mother knows about the galamad. To the point where Alec was like, please bring her this galamad so I never hear about it ever again. Anyway, it comes with an apricot dipping sauce. So, which is also fantastic. Ooh. So me and Ariana are like going ham on the galamad.
That's just duck sauce. You realize that, right?
What?
No, it had apricots probably in it.
Apricot. No. Duck sauce is apricot.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. No, it definitely tastes sweeter than like different than
duck
sauce.
In duck sauce.
No, but I don't really like duck sauce that often. It definitely tasted different than like duck sauce.
Okay.
But either way, we finish the meal and Ari goes to the waiter. Can I get a to-go container of this apricot?
I've done that too.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
It was so good. And he was like, I think he thought we were joking and we were not joking. And then she was like, okay, what about the recipe? Like, can you give me the recipe? And we were like, no. And it was so good. But anyway, so I just like, if there's an etiquette, like, I think asking for like the sauce is weirder than asking for like a to-go box, you know? Like something that you wouldn't wrap, like just being like, yo, can I get extra of this to go?
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, 99% of the time, you're never going to cross paths with this waiter or this restaurant again to care. Like, what? listen,
Right.
live life and be yourself, and who cares?
And even restaurants you do cross again. I mean, I'm not gonna, let's just say a restaurant that starts with the letters JT, because I don't want to get banned. They may be of the southern Hispanic variety.
Yeah. Now I know where we're going with this.
I mean, those soup cups, those dipping bowls, they're all in my home. So I just like,
Oh, that's a different
We know
subject.
that you're a klepto.
no,
that
no,
is
no,
different.
but they came home because I took the sauce with
Right,
me
because
home.
they don't give you a to-go container, and that is their own fault. Yes.
So, and that's a place I frequent very much so. So
I cannot even.
whatever.
Okay. While we have Deb here also, speaking of Mariana, she texted me about something today, and I was so glad that she did, because this is a thought that I've had for a while, and I'm curious as to how a mother that grew up in a time with us going to school feels on this topic. So today, Ari sends me a picture, and she's like, this is the third back to school picture that I've seen of a girl going to high school in a crop top shirt. Do they not have dress codes anymore? And I was like, thank you. We're going to talk about this on the podcast, because I was thinking about this like for the last, like, in when the weather got nice and like people were going to school and whatever. I was like, do these girls, do they have dress codes anymore? Because we're sitting here like, I don't know, like you couldn't have spaghetti straps. You couldn't. And listen, I think that the dress code was a little too strict when we went to school. I do. But now it's like non-existent. And I also don't really know if I think it's totally their fault, because like, do we sell full shirts anymore?
No, we don't
But
sell them.
but like at the same time, like
It's true.
that's still like, I mean, we had to be worried, like, God forbid you raised your hand and your stomach showed like a little bit, or your shirt went up. Like, these girls are gonna have their bra out. Like, what?
They don't even wear bras.
Well,
Well,
that's
it's the same. It's the same thing like when I used to do photography and I used to take communion pictures, and the kids would be wearing their mother's crown and their veil. Like the mother thought it was cute and traditional or whatever, but the kids would come in with a tiara that was this big on their head and they'd look ridiculous. And the mother would be in barely any clothing with the stilettos this high going into church with the low cut shirt. And I would say, what? Does these mothers think that this is okay to go into church like this?
Right.
So it trickles down, and she has a brother who probably was stricter with her and my younger one
Same with
than
my
my
brother, who
husband
is not
actually
older
was.
than me.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I didn't buy them clothes like that. I don't know whether it's that the parents want their kids to keep up with fashion or what their other people are wearing, those half shirts, or whether it's like, I'm buying you the clothes and this is what we're buying. We're not buying you a half a shirt today.
Right. I
Like
mean,
you said,
my
they don't really
kid-
sell full shirts anymore, but
Well, my kid definitely looks more fashionable than me at 2 years old. But like that's the fashion. But like also so I went to a concert a couple weeks ago, and this also drove me nuts too, because I just feel like all of these kids are just dressing so inappropriately for the times. I saw, and I think I said this, we might have talked about this, but I saw these girls, and this one girl literally had maybe like, it looked like a tablecloth that was like wrapped up, and it was tied around her waist and then tied around her chest that she didn't have because she
like a
was 8 years old,
bandana.
Right.
and around
Yeah.
her neck. And I was like, this girl is probably 8 years old. Like, the only time I wore anything remotely close to that was like, I wore a bandana as a shirt to like an anything but clothes party
In college.
in college, and like I had a bandeau on, and like I tucked the bandana into it, but like I still had something underneath it. Like, this girl had nothing underneath it, and I was like, I feel like I felt uncomfortable looking at this child, because I'm like, who dressed you and who's telling you that you should go out looking like this? Like, it's just
Well,
sad.
to segue into that, like not maybe my generation, maybe I have some younger friends that are, like 10 years younger than me, and they're constantly putting up pictures of their daughters in like these itsy bitsy bikinis, and these daughters are like 15 years old, 16 years old, and they're putting it up on social media. Look at my beautiful daughter. And I'm saying to myself,
Yikes.
ew. Like, first of all, I have never in my life posted a picture of them in their bikinis
Right.
And
they
maybe
didn't
when we
wear
were on vacation, but like,
But you didn't wear bikinis
we never
that
really
were
wore like
strings
string.
covering your nipples. And I'm thinking like you have all your 40, 50-year-old creepy friends on Facebook and you're
Yes.
putting this picture up of your daughter with her ass sticking out and a little band-aid over her boobs. So
Right.
that I find even more disturbing than the fact that the kid wants to wear the half shirt because that's what all of her friends are wearing.
Right. I just like, I don't know. My mom would never be like, yeah, sure. I mean, I wore halter tops as like a kid in the 90s. They were in, you know what I mean? But they were from the children's place and like they were very age
Right.
appropriate. They weren't
It helped
like,
that Jess was always a child size smaller than people our actual age.
I think I
so
fit.
Listen,
I think I
fashion
fit in
can
the
be
children's.
it
I
all
had
comes
one.
down back to the parents. I mean, first, like I said, somebody who did photography, did school day photography. I could not believe the outfits that some of these kids came to picture day with, and their parents thought, "Oh, this is a great outfit for my kid to take their second grade picture in," or something like that. So it all stems from the parents trying to keep up with their friends or trying to be
Right.
relevant and cool and young and hip, and you're actually just making your kids look like sluts.
Oh, Deborah.
A slut word.
Scandalous. Anyway, no, but I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I mean,
You're not
I don't
wrong,
want to say
she
you're not.
was.
It's not that she's not wrong, but like, no, you're giving in to like, if anybody that parents' age like dressed like that, they would probably be judging them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a tasteful way to do it, and there's a not tasteful way to do it. I think, like, because like
Yeah.
even like a lot of my younger cousins, like a lot of them wear crop tops and things like that, but they're not like. I'm not uncomfortable around them, but like some of these pictures like that I see on the like of other people's kids, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like what
Well,
are
it's
we
the whole
wearing?
thing. It's the nails, it's the makeup, it's the, listen, I love my eyelash extensions, but I don't think when you're 15 years old, this should be part of your routine when you don't have that three-letter word,
I wasn't even able to shave until I was,
J-O-B. You don't have a J-O-B. Why am I paying for your $50
Right.
manicure, your $100 eyelashes? I just think that there's a time. It's even sometimes I get annoyed, and we've discussed this a million times. You go to a nail salon, I'm going to get a manicure and a pedicure, and somebody's got all their kids with them, or the little girl every 2 minutes she's ruining. And no offense if you've done this with your own, but yes,
No,
if
not
it's a
yet.
special occasion, if it's their communion, if it's you're there in a
Mhm.
wedding, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about why does little Lisa have to go get a manicure every time mom gets a manicure? Why does the
Right.
people have to entertain this little kid? I'm going there to relax. I don't want you bringing your kid with you.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
not that I don't like kids. I love kids. It's just that I just feel like there's certain things. It's like getting the limo for your communion.
People do
Staten
that?
Island, they have limos for
They do do
communions.
that
Some
for
churches
communions.
ban limos for the communions.
They have to actually come out with a statement. No limos,
Well, they
please.
did have to come out with a statement like in our 6th grade and 8th grade dance that we weren't allowed to rent limos for those events.
Okay, but
And
imagine
that's
having to do that
because
for communion.
right, no, but we are the Manalapan was the Brooklyn Staten Island implants. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it makes sense.
But I feel like it's not that, even if you could afford it, and even if you think that's the way, you're not making the future be anything special for your child. That,
Right.
oh, when it's my turn to graduate and I go to my prom, I'm going to be in a limo.
Right.
There's no, like, everything is everybody trying to outdo each other.
Yep.
Hence, like when we moved here and everybody on
Thank
the
you,
block.
social media.
Because
that's
but before even social media, when we moved on our block, which is considered, like an
In 2001.
upscale neighborhood in Staten Island where all the elite live and the people with money. Well, this is how it was when we came here.
I always said it's either that or it's the people that married their cousins. There's no in
Correct.
between.
But every single kid, 17 years old, there was a car waiting outside with a bow on it. And my children thought that when they turned 17, there was going to be a car outside.
And I did get one, but it was a pre-owned car.
Right, but you
Who
paid
died
for
this
it.
week.
We had a saying, 3 letters. You need to
Job.
have a J-O-B to get a C-A-R to afford the G-A-S. Okay? And Chrissy, remember what I did with Chrissy? I put a Barbie car outside, the Barbie dream car with a bow on it. On her 17th birthday, she came outside of school looking for her car, and there it was.
Yeah. You had it easy with us when it came to the clothes though, because we were like tomboys.
Yeah, they were tomboys.
Like you never had you never had that clueless moment where like, where do you think you're going? Like we were never like that.
Well, our fashion choices were definitely different. Like I would say like my brother started being like, where are you going? Like if I would get ready like to go back to like Morristown when I was already home, like in the summers or whatever. Or like on winter break and I was staying with someone. Am I cutting out again?
You are.
Yes.
We're just rolling with it. Just rolling with it. I wasn't gonna stop you. There's nothing I could do about it.
Well, what did you hear?
No, like the feed comes through. It's just you freeze for a minute and then it like fast comes in.
Oh, got it. Anyway, so then but like that would be like with the skirts from like Charlotte Russe that were like skin tight and like
they had to be like your hand length.
Right, and the going out tops and like you know what I mean, like like that, like and the shoes. He was like, "Where are you going? You're gonna let her go out like that, you know?" And like the skin like dresses because we were going to like we got dressed to go out, like, and we've already talked about how this generation doesn't get dressed to go out.
Your parents and me and Joe, we never dressed you like you were Amish and going with the Mormon people.
Oh, no, I mean,
but I
also.
Definitely, and I believe
I was a Kids R Us poster child. Don't you worry. I had every single pair of bell-bottom jeans and glitter and color and whatever. I mean, my mom also worked at Kids R Us, so all my clothes came from there. But regardless.
But I mean, it wasn't even about money. It's just that people like your parents and me, I didn't wear clothes. I didn't care that I needed a pocketbook that said Coach on it or all that kind of stuff. So my girls were raised that really, they were just happy to go to Walmart. That was like their favorite place to go.
Everyone has their bags. I'm 32 years old. I'm like, I got mine at Target.
So,
like,
I will say, when she graduated with her master's, she wanted a Michael Kors bag, and I wanted to vomit to buy it for her, but she earned it.
And that wasn't even an expensive brand. That was like a mid-priced one.
Yeah, that's not even that bad. Like, well, that was the one year that I bought my Michael Kors bag with my tax return, and I got the matching wallet, and I was like, but like, bags is where bags is where I was like, my only materialistic thing that I like got growing up was bags. Like, I had a knockoff Juicy bag, and then I think
I had the knockoff Louis Vuitton.
Yes,
I third was when I got. No, that was when I got my first like Coach bag, and it was actually not even a purse. It was a makeup bag that we all used as a purse.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. You know which one? The white one with like, the colors. And so I got it for my 13th birthday. And then like I had a few, like now I even have my Michael Kors bags and things like that. But like now I use my $15 fanny pack more than I use any of them, you know? Like,
right.
But anyway,
Deb, we have a couple minutes left. Do you have any topic you would like to broach or talk about?
Oh my God, I don't know.
This is an open end, and maybe I shouldn't have done that.
How much I love my daughter. She's amazing, isn't she amazing? And how much I love your friendship.
Oh, that was cute.
That was nice.
And you do entertain me on my drive to work. Sometimes in the morning, I put it through my whatever you call it in my car, and I listen to your podcast and I laugh. I laughed so much last week about what the hell were you talking about?
Who even knows?
We forget.
I don't even remember myself.
The weeks start to blend together.
I know.
But you do entertain me, and I do love
birds.
The birds, the whole thing with the birds, the pigeons.
The birds.
But I do love your friendship, and cheers to both of you. That you're doing this, and
we don't have any drinks that are of worthy.
And I promise, if I'm ever invited back again, I will take the sticker off my brand new birthday card.
Well, Deb, even though it's early, we hope that you have a great birthday and you enjoy that we allowed you to be on the podcast for your birthday.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's our gift to you.
Thank you for thinking of me, not that someone else did.
No problem.
Because now we've set a precedent, because there's another avid listener downstairs that goes, so when am I going to be on it then?
You know what that reminded me of? When you said that he got jealous that Deb was coming on the pod, it literally reminded me of the time that we took our moms to the Met game, and then our dads were like, oh my God, you went to the Met game with them? And then we had to go to the Met game with them, and then we had to sit through a no-hitter because in the freezing cold.
Yes. I was like, I definitely prefer the mom's game better.
How about when we went to Radio City? Do you remember we did that too, the moms?
We did. We did the moms, the spring show at the Rockettes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. The dads get jealous because
I know.
Who gives a shit?
The moms want to do things.
They're gonna watch this.
I don't care. You know, I don't say anything that I wouldn't say to anybody's face anyway,
And
so it
you're
really
not
doesn't
wrong.
bother me.
Now, people that don't know my mother are starting to get an idea of where I get my bluntness from, for sure.
Yes. Being blunt and being honest is what it's all about.
And the flair for the dramatic.
No phony nonsense.
Yeah.
We're too old for that nonsense. Even you guys are too old for that nonsense.
It
Oh,
still
yeah.
happens.
We're over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
So-
get over it. Now we just tell each other that we don't want to deal with it anymore rather than getting offended.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what makes your friendship awesome and unique is that you kind of could sell each other almost anything, I would think.
Yeah.
And you don't get
Yeah.
mad. And that's what it's about because you have different things in your life. She has different things in her life. And
Yeah.
sometimes the drama, you get to a point you don't want the drama anymore.
Wow, this is getting
Yeah, it's
deep.
not worth it. It is. But you know what? Deb's not wrong. And I'm just glad that she never kicked me out of your house when we were sitting at the top of our lungs while drunk.
Yes.
The many, many times that we
And there was a lot of those times.
And it was ugly.
That's usually, you know what, though, in our defense, that was usually fueled by my father giving us Jaeger shots. So
That is true. Oh, my tears.
True. Not the
was
night
kind
that we
of
went.
fueled.
Not the 90s night was the worst when we were singing Nickelback and she woke up the
Oh,
next
yeah.
morning and she was like,
Like
you
those
didn't sing
tapes.
any of the words correct in that song.
Yep. 14 years and counting, baby.
I do never
Yeah.
recall you.
Isn't that
throwing up
crazy?
in
We've
my
been
house,
friends for
though.
14 years already.
Mhm.
No, that wasn't her.
That wasn't.
It's
It's,
so disgusting.
it's okay. It's all good. It's good things ahead.
14 years of friendship. I'm saying was so disgusting. I probably
I know.
went out. Yeah.
It's a long time.
It's okay.
It sounds
Just-
like so long.
Yeah. Jess is going to plan our 15-year college reunion.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Stop
God.
putting me in charge of these things.
I just keep telling her she has to do it. But anyway, thank you for joining us, Mother.
You're welcome.
Yes,
I hope
thank you, Deb.
this now gets you to stop asking.
Thank
And,
you.
happy birthday. We love you.
I have
Happy
any new fans.
birthday.
Goodbye. I will
Thanks,
sit back.
friends, for listening.
Yes. And thanks for being our friend.
Bye.
We should have made Deb say it.
Oh, go ahead, Deb. I won't cut it off yet.
Thank you for being our friend.
Oh, very nice. Ta-ta.
Hi, friends. Wow, you listened to the whole thing. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform and share it with your friends. Ratings, reviews, and comments help as well. See you next week. Thanks for being our friend.